Woohoo! Hello. Welcome to today's session. We're going to be getting started in about, I'll give it 4 minutes until we get going. Hi, if you are watching the recording of today at some point, please fast forward about 3 or 4 minutes till we get started. For those of you coming in live, hello. If you are here live, please make sure you go into the chat area and say hello so I can see who's here. Let me know where you're from. We are streaming today on a platform that's a bit different to Zoom. You can't actually see each other's faces on this platform. So I only know you're there if you're leaving me a comment or two. So please make sure that you say hello. Let us know what you do and where you're from, first of all. And I'm just going to turn on my phone recording as well. Always have a backup, as they say. Awesome. Alrighty. Howdies. So welcome to today's session on how to stand out as an authority in your industry. We're going to be talking today all about building out that personal brand of yours, why it's so important, how you're going to get yourself known and seen in your field. And we're going to give you a bunch of actual, actionable, practical strategies, things that are pretty much free to do, so that we are not going to be talking about paid ads or anything like that today. We're going to talk about stuff that you can do on 0 to very low budget, basically. And we're also going to be giving you more than 15 ways. I know, I'm so cheeky. I said to you, you're going to get 15 ways to build your brand. We've got about 25 plus ways. So I hope you've got a coffee. I hope you've got, I don't know, like me, an electrolyte drink, or you have at the very least a pen and paper, and knowing that you're going to get the replay to this, because as you guys know, I speak at 10 kilometers an hour, like 10 billion kilometers an hour, correction. And there's going to be a lot of things that I go through today that you're going to probably want to come back and go through. Now, this is a free workshop. So today is going to be more about the what rather than the really in-depth how, as I'm a very how-to girl. And the how-to, as in how do you go in and implement all these things, is more reserved for my Legends Lab coaching program or my boot camps that I run that you can come to at any time, next one being in July. However, trust me, you're going to be able to do and action implement pretty much everything I share with you today, even without the time to go in and do the hows, because I'm going to give it you fast today. Who we got here in the comments? Those of you on live, could you please just drop in a comment and let me know where you're from, what your expertise is? That would be amazing. We still have exactly 60 seconds to go until we get started, just waiting for those last few people to come in. So hello, live streamers. Can you drop us a hi if you're in the room? I see there's a number of you logged in, but without the cameras on, I can't see who's there. So let us know. Now, it's going to look a bit odd when I look over this way. So when you see me look here, it's because you guys are on my other screen, which is over here, because my presentation slides are on this screen above the camera right here, so that when I'm presenting, I can look straight into the camera lens. I also have a mobile phone camera recording into the middle of my screen here. Hi, everybody on the camera over there. All right, we've got Michelle from Canada. Oh, lovely to have you here. It must be quite late there. We also have Nicole, who's coming in from the Gold Coast, my neighbor. Hello. And we've got Manuela, who's in from the Gold Coast, another one of my neighbors. Hello. So good to see you all. If everyone else can just let me know that you're here and what you're up to. Okay. It is bang on time, my friends. Welcome to today's session on not 15 ways on how to build your personal brand and stand out as an expert in your field, but about 25 plus ways. Oh yeah, it's good here. I like to over deliver. So we are going to go hard and fast with a number of different things that you can do to implement the building of your personal brand, to get seen, to get noticed, to build up a following, to become your industry's go-to person in the thing that you are knowledgeable about. And this is going to apply whether you are brand new and just starting out, or Whether you are planning on doing this in the future, or whether you've been doing this for absolutely ages and just want some new ideas, some refreshers, or a boost to what you're already doing. We've also got David Stanton in the house and Irina. It's lovely to see you guys here. Hi, everyone. My name's Sarah. For those of you that haven't met me before, I am a qualified teacher trainer, and I specialize in helping people commercialize their knowledge and turn what's in their head into a profitable business, using their personal expertise, their knowledge, and their personal brand to create a highly profitable and commercialized business. So this is really extra for you if you are or planning to become a coach, consultant, course creator, an expert, a professional speaker, basically anyone who is going out there to lead their brand and their business with education, with knowledge, with consulting, with advice, guidance, and coaching, and indeed plans to create educational-based products, coaching programs, courses. Perhaps you're creating books, publishing books, want to go out there as a professional speaker. Because once you have a personal brand, you have the leverage to basically make anything succeed later. A lot of people seen my overnight success in Techmatics. We have built within the first 18 months of Techmatics being around, we're now about to turn into our 4th year, FYI. But when we first started, within 18 months, I was able to build Techmatics from a 0 brand new startup business to gaining a $15 million valuation. Now, to anyone on the outside, that looked like an overnight success. But actually, it was because I was able to leverage a new product from my existing personal brand. The personal brand I'd worked really hard to build out for 20 years. I put myself out there as an authority in my field. I'd been educating my market. I'd been serving that market for a really long time. And the result of that is every time I publish a course, it sells out. Every time I launch a boot camp, it sells out. Every time I publish a book, it sells off the shelves. Every time I create anything new, it sells out. And that is because of the hard work that's gone into the long-term thing of building a personal brand. So I strongly recommend that if you plan to make anything a success, building out your personal brand is a very big part of that. So just to reassure you, you're in the right room. From zero, from nothing, I've built a personal brand. I have a multi-7-figure business, and I do all of that without a massive marketing budget. In fact, over 90% of the sales that I've made over the last 20 years have all come from organic marketing. That is free marketing, an internet connection, right? And a little bit of confidence, even if it's behind the scenes of a little bit of fear, a little bit of imposter syndrome, and a little bit of what if they hate me thrown in on the side. Yes, I'm a real person just like you. I too fear failure. I too fear the discomfort of being disliked. But all we've got to do in terms of building a personal brand is to go out there with our message, with the thing that we love, the thing we're passionate about, with the knowledge that we currently have right now, not what we haven't learned yet, just the stuff that we already know, that we already love, that we are already super duper passionate about, and just share that with the world. We're talking more about that today. So what we're also going to be doing today is understanding that behind every successful personal brand, there needs to be a blueprint, a key message, a key framework around what it is that you stand for. A successful personal brand has identified that right now, here's what I'm about. Here's what I teach. So those of you in the live chat, I'd love you to just share right now, what do you do? What do you do? Please share that in the live chat right now. So hi there also to Haley Jane, to Jane Lynch, Andrea Watson. We've got Roxy on the call, Lauren Clement as well. Absolutely lovely having all of you guys on the live call. So what do you do? Because we're going to build on this in a second. Now, what on the screen is something called an IP framework. It's also called an authority model. For those of you who've not heard of the term IP framework before, this means intellectual property. Now, this is where you basically are visually summarizing to your audience, here are the main things that I teach. Now, this can be an IP framework that encompasses absolutely everything holistically that you are about. If this one on the screen today was about what I was about overall, it would say commercialization of knowledge, courses, it would say tech and digital automation, right? Because they're the main things that I teach about. But the blueprint on the screen right now is specifically about today's workshop. about what we're going to talk about today, building your brand, leveraging your authority positioning. And you are going to be planning what yours might be for your overall brand as part of today. And yes, I do have some helpful prompts for you to chuck into ChatGPT, but I want you to understand that when it comes to creating IP frameworks, to standing out as an authority in industry, we first need to take a position. We first need to say, this is what I'm about. This is what I do with people. And this is what I stand for in this industry. And there's no right or wrong to any of those. And neither, by the way, do you have to tattoo it on your forehead, because likely, just as we all breathe and evolve and the world around us continues to, you too will change your messaging over time. Your messaging, your focus will evolve over time. A lot of people put off this kind of, what am I about? What do I do? Thing, because they think that it's something that they have to give birth to and marry to and tattoo on their face and literally only do for the rest of their lives. I need you to understand that when we start talking about our brand and our message and like what is the stage we're standing on today, that stage is temporary. The tablecloth or your cover that you put over it, the dress that it's wearing will change over time. But what on the screen here is the framework for what I'm going to be teaching you today. And today we're going to basically take you through what the 5 main steps are that you have to put in place if you want to become your industry's go-to guy or girl. If you want to become your industry, the person that people think about when they think about your topic, it's your name that pops into their heads. If they go to Google it, it's your name that comes up on Google. If you go into a Facebook group and you see somebody ask a question about your topic and it's your name that's being flooded in the tags in those comments, this is what we're going to be doing in today's session. We're going to be helping you understand that to get there, these 5 major steps need to be taken. You need to first of all get clear on this message. What is your message? What do you do? Who do you do it for? And how do you stand out? And what do you stand for in your field? The second thing, once you know what your messaging is going to be, you're then going to need to get absolute floodlights on that message coming out of your mouth. This means you're going to have to get visible. You need to get seen. You got to get your sexy face on camera, your sexy button stages, and you've got to just believe in what you love and go out there and share that with people absolutely passionately through as many channels and in as many mediums as possible. This is visibility. This is your marketing. This is being seen in yellow here. Right then, once we have got visibility going on, it is pointless if we haven't then done step 3, which is all about conversion, converting those eyeballs who are just seeing us into contacts in our database, into paying customers, moolah in our bank account, right? That's step 3. We've got to convert them. We've got to get that contact information. We've got to get that credit card details. And this isn't to go out there like some kind of hunter. This is business. This is a business. It's got to pay your bills, right? Being a good guy is part of it. Being a good guy that gets paid means you can help more people. You can keep sailing that ship and getting more people to the result that you're promising you're going to get them to. Now, after you've got your conversions down pat and you have systems in place, don't worry, I'm going to be teaching you what those are today. Then you need to focus on scaling, because it's all going to be well and good getting a couple of customers, but that's not going to go very far, very long if you're not able to continuously keep getting more customers, to get those customers to spend more money, to get them to spend more frequently or for a longer period of time. You have to make sure that both your business and your systems are set up along with your marketing to make sure that you can go on to help not just 10 customers or 100 customers or 1,000 customers, but maybe hundreds of thousands of customers. I've taken my business over the last 15, 20 years to now having well over 300,000 students who have gone through various forms of my training. That is massive. The only reason and only way that we can get to numbers like that, and I have a goal to get much bigger than that, is if we have considered the step of scalability, with our personal brand being the driver in the face of that. And then finally, it's all well and good having a business that's growing and growing. You want to make sure that it continues to grow. And this is our sustainability step. So today I'm going to take you through these 5 steps, and I'm going to give you some strategies inside each of these steps to make sure that you've got at least something to go away and start implementing today. Now, here's an important thing I want you to know. I am going to throw a lot of strategies at you today. Like I said, I've probably got between 3 and 5 strategies for you within each of those steps. So I've got 3 to 5 ways to increase that visibility, to increase your conversions, to scale more, and to keep it sustainable so that your brand just keeps growing and growing over time. One thing I want you to know is you do not need to implement all of them right now. Okay. I've chosen a bunch of different methods and strategies so that you can pick the one that's going to work best for you, the one that you feel most called to work with today. Right? Ain't nobody got time for complete paralysis here. So please don't think, oh, Sarah, I've got to do all of this as if there's enough on my to-do list already. No. I want you to just pick one thing from each of the 5 steps that we're going to walk through today so that you have something to help you move towards. Now, I'm not going to go into this next step in detail, but in terms of the 5 major steps we need to go through to build a brand and become a well-known expert authority in our field, behind the scenes, there is a more strategic system of what this looks like. Now, inside the business strategy of becoming a profitable and commercialized personal brand, there are a number of different steps that you would need to then be setting up behind the scenes. So remember when we said we've got to get clear on our message first so that then when we go to market and get visible, we are actually able to target the right people. We then said we need to be able to convert them into customers. So my visibility blueprint, this is only available for my Legends Lab members or those who come on my boot camps. It's a massive A3 sheet that you can print out, but I will explain what's on the screen on this visibility blueprint. Now, at the very top, once you've crafted your message, you do your visibility section. This is how do people find you? How do people become aware of you in the first place? So what we have on the screen is we've got a green section of boxes and we've got a pink section of boxes right at the very top of our success system, of our visibility blueprint. And these are all the different ways that we can be found. And some of them we're going to be talking about today. Just to give you an example, in our green box section, we've got a whole different bunch of ways that you can use specifically content marketing to get more visible, to be discovered by people actively searching for you or accidentally scrolling and discovering you. Content, i.e. blogs, i.e. making videos, audios, podcasts, content that people consume visually, audibly, and verbally, and via reading. These are all ways that you can get more visible using content. We will be talking a bit about a couple of those methods today. Then we have what we call general marketing activities. And this is basically any other way that you are going to be discovered, that you are increasing your visibility. So this could be anything from influencer marketing to presenting on summits, doing professional speaking, going out to networking gigs, obviously doing paid advertising and marketing, collaborations, partnerships, sponsoring events, doing affiliate marketing, you name it. There's an absolutely unlimited amount of marketing techniques that you can be using to get visible, to be seen as that expert in your niche. Now, as we move down our visibility blueprint, we start moving into the conversion section. So cool, we've got at the top all these ways that we're getting seen and discovered, that we're sharing our message. But we then need to make sure that message, that marketing, all of that visibility is actually funneling people into the conversion section. So this is when we take it from just being content that's being passively observed to then becoming a system by which you're collecting people's email addresses and their credit card details. So this is where you're going to be using things like lead magnets to collect the emails. Maybe you're doing what I'm doing today, a free workshop, right? You guys watching this, every single one of you have handed over your email address to me. I am literally doing the conversion part of my personal branding right now. I use my personal brand. I used my social media to quite literally publish a free workshop. I said, come along. It's completely free. I'm going to teach some cool stuff. You gave me your email address. Here you are watching this. Hello. It works. And guess what? Hopefully, I'm going to blow your fluffy socks off. And then you might want to come and join my Legends Lab program. You might want to come to one of my boot camps. You might go and tell your friends that Sarah, she's pretty smart and sexy and stuff. Like, you should totes go and join her things. So this is what we're doing. Now, if you don't do any of those things yet, you might just hang around on my email list for a while. You might consume a bunch of my stuff. FYI, just to give you a teeny tiny little bit of reality here, because I'm not here to tell you this is going to happen overnight. There is at the moment taking on average 22 touch points. 22 touch points. This means 22 times that people see you before they will begin to engage with you. 22 touch points. This is how important this visibility part is. This is how important putting your personal brand out there actually is today. So the next part of this conversion process is that we obviously have something to sell them, that we're commercializing all of this content in some way. You need to make sure that you have something that you're selling immediately up front in those visibility posts, in that visibility content, in that visibility marketing, or immediately afterwards. And again, we are going to talk a little bit more about that today. So this blueprint is available obviously in my Legends Lab program or any of my boot camps, but I did also want to show this to you to just show you how practically this kind of system applies to making this go from just being out there and talking loudly and getting seen to actually turning it into a business, because it's business, it needs to be profitable, or you can't help people. So let me just take you now into step one of this blueprint. Let's get this working for you. Yes? So step one is our message. We need to get our message right first. And let's again just reiterate the fact that it's your message right now that we want to get right first. It does not mean that you need to know exactly what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. Right now, how does it sound? Right now, how is it worded? It's going to evolve. Please do not stop putting yourself out there or reserve your entry to the market, because I'm not sure what my message is yet. The only way that your message is going to get clear is if you start saying something. And I know this all too painfully, because when I started my world in corporate, I was selling to corporate, to B2B, and I wanted to go out to the public market. And I spent so long procrastinating about what's my message in the public market? What is it? Like, I teach so many things that it took me a really long time to get off the starting line. And I look back now and realize how much time I lost and how much quicker I could have grown if I just started saying something, because it was when I finally just went, stuff it. I don't know what it is, but I'm just going to go out there and say something today. It wasn't until I started speaking and the words began to come out that I discovered how they were coming out. You actually have to start saying stuff, anything at all, in order to actually know what's inside there. It's ironic, right? You think, I don't know what to say. When I figure out what to say, I'll say it. Wrong. You actually are better off just saying anything at all. And what you discover is that you naturally move down a particular pathway. You naturally begin speaking to a particular type of person that you wouldn't have known that you were naturally inclined to do until you started doing it. And in fact, true story of mine, when I was still in this discovery process, bear in mind, I had been a teacher trainer for years by this point, and I still couldn't see the wood through the trees. It was so obvious what I did that I couldn't see it. Right? But what I did is I actually teamed up with a friend of mine called Sam. And we agreed that every single Friday for 10 weeks, we would go and meet in the park opposite my house. We sellotaped our mobile phones to a tree because it didn't even have a tripod back then. And we agreed that we would talk to the camera for a whole entire hour without really any particular plan. And we would just film ourselves talking to the camera, giving tips and advice. And what was really interesting about this is we actually never planned to publish any of this stuff. We were just like, let's just see what happens. And what happened is we would first talk for an hour, we would record the whole thing, and then we'd go inside and we'd watch it back with a glass of wine. And we would actually become each other's coaches and try and analyze what it was we were speaking about. And what we noticed was, Sarah, you seem to keep talking to this kind of person. It seems like you are just tending to talk towards this type of individual. Now, I would never have noticed that if I hadn't gone through that cringeworthy process of watching myself back. It was very informative in terms of what was happening inside that. So if you're not sure, just commit to talking on camera for a while. If you're not sure what your message is, if you want to actually make the current message you've got even stronger, go live once a day for 30 days and see what happens. Just commit to going live on your social media and talking about something each day and watch it back and see what happens. It's incredibly revelatory what happens. So let's talk about this first part of our message. First of all, let's talk about a brand. A lot of people think that a brand is a logo and colors. Okay, and of course it is. However, a brand is actually really much more than that. And if you're going out to use your personal brand to make your business more profitable, or you're building a brand, you need to understand that when it comes to real impact, real human connection, and real profit, this is less about your logo. It's less about the colors, and it's actually more about how you make people feel. It's huge for you to first try and understand. So the first thing I want you to write down on a piece of paper right now, or in the live chat if you're here live right now, is can you imagine, first of all, that loads of people are talking about you? Now, how many of you immediately, when I say to that, go to negative? People are talking about you. How many people instantly go, oh, they're saying mean things? I didn't say people were saying mean things about you. I just said people were talking about you. If your brain instantly went to they were saying mean things, here's one of the first things we need to get over. We need to get past, okay, is you are likely, as all human beings are, to be biologically wired for self-protection and self-preservation and survival, which means that doing anything that's new, i.e. putting ourselves out there, doing anything that could present a risk to our lives, i.e. inside our psychology, putting ourselves out there, the brain will instantaneously try to protect us by telling us, danger, danger, that's not safe. And we need to say, shh, shh, biological imposter syndrome. I know you're there to protect me and keep me safe, but I need to go out there and help people. Hands up, how many people instantly went when I said what people are talking about you, right? Not everyone is out there to take you down, right? It is actually not life and death to go out there and share your message with the world. Your biology, your physiology will try to convince you that this is the most dangerous thing you could ever possibly do, right? It's not. It's just putting stuff on the internet that you're passionate about. So let's just try that again, shall we? People are talking about you. And 99.9% of the people that are talking about you are actually saying something nice, okay? Reality is there's only about 1% or less that are going to say something mean. And of course, 1% of people are going to say something mean. Hello, it's the internet. It's how it works. This is a democratic planet that we live in. Just please get over the fact that 1% of people are going to be mean and 90+% of people are going to say something nice. So what do you want people to say about you? What do you want them to be saying? In a perfect world where people are saying about you exactly what you want them to, what is it that they're saying? Is it, oh my gosh, she's the most helpful person ever. Every time I go to her workshops, I get so much practical information from it. Oh my gosh, there's nobody as helpful as her. She's so kind. What is it? What do you want them to say about you? Please write this down on your own notepad right now. To just sit there and imagine all these people who are saying the nicest things about you. What do you wish was just a thing that was repeatedly said about you over and over again? This is really important. Okay. So once you've done that, the next thing I want you to really get into your head around branding is that your brand isn't just your colors and your logo. What you are doing is your brand. The way that you are being is your brand. The way you behave is your brand. Absolutely everything you are, who you are, how you be, how you treat people, how you make people feel is your brand. If you are somebody that constantly procrastinates about something, that is your brand. If you're somebody who just gets stuff done, that is your brand. If you're somebody who consistently, dependably, and reliably always shows up and does what they says they're going to do, that is your brand. If you're somebody who always leaves people feeling inspired and happy and uplifted, that is your brand. If you're constantly moaning and being negative and going, oh, this is happening, that is your brand. The way you make people feel through your everyday behavior is your brand. And I dare you to go back to your Facebook profile or your Instagram, wherever it is that you hang out online, and read your last 10 posts. What do your last 10 posts say about you? If I didn't know you and I'm a potential customer and I go to your personal page or your business page or both, because they will, and I look at just your last 10 posts with my little thummy scroll, what would they say about you? Because it's really interesting to me as somebody who's been helping people build their brands for a very long time. I notice this so hard right now. And even when other people don't consciously notice it, everybody unconsciously notices it, because this is how we're wired as human beings, to pick up on these psychological and really effective feelings that we get when we see anything from anyone. Do we write more negative stuff? If so, that is our brand. Do we write really angry, raging posts all the time? If so, that is our brand. And I'm not saying don't do those things, right? For you, that might be your position. That might be the angle you take, and that's totally okay. But is that what you want your brand to be? Because if it's not, then it's not okay. All right. It's about being congruent with what you've decided your messaging is and how you want people to feel and how you want them to see you, and therefore what you want them to say about you. The way that you show up will determine how people see you as a coach, a consultant, or an educator that they want to work with or want to avoid. If you're somebody that's seen to get stuff done and get results, and you do that in a way that's fun and aspirational, but also true and authentic and realistic, they're going to want to work with you more than if it's always like this and bitch that, right? Unless they're, of course, that you are a rebel brand, which I'll talk to you about in a second. And there are a lot of people out there who have built very successful brands, by the way, on coming the negative attack war zone angle. By the way, it's not wrong. You just want to make sure, what is it I want people to say about me? Okay, all with me so far? I hope people are starting to feel some kind of, ooh, this is different. It might be a new way of looking at branding for you, okay? Yeah, it's about you. You are the brand. So what's your brand personality? What is your brand archetype? This, for me, changed my freaking life. Now, I do have a formal assessment. By the way, this is an actual psychological brand archetype assessment. For those of you on the live chat, I've just popped this link in the live chat area. We have licensed this from a professional branding company. So this isn't a quiz that I've made up. This is actually a professional brand archetype assessment that is going to help you identify what your brand archetype is. Now, disclaimer, we've licensed this, so there is a fee to it. It's only about $30. This, for me, changed my entire business. The second I knew what my brand archetype was, everything changed. And when you look back through my socials, you can actually see the day that it happened, because you can see it, you can feel it in the energy, okay? So let me explain this a tiny bit more. Your brand archetype is the messaging, it's the personality, it's the voice that you have in your brand. It literally will identify, using Carl Jung's psychological assessment theory, what it is that you want to leave people feeling like when they interact with you as a personal brand. This is going to tell you what kind of archetype or personality style that you are. And when you know this, you are going to know exactly how to show up. You're going to know what your voice is, your communication style, how you communicate your messaging. It's going to tell you, yes, about the colors and the energy of your brand as well, which is obviously then going to go on and inform everything. For me, it was even just how I dress. It helped give me permission and clarity to go out there and be more of me turned up, like me on full beams, baby. So this is so amazing. And if you can afford the $30, I don't make any profit out of this. This is just literally the licensing fee we have to pay for this. It is going to change everything for you. I cannot tell you how big knowing what your brand archetype is. If anyone knows what yours is, it'll be really interesting to know. So basically, just to give you a very important element of this, you will see on our screen that I've got up here some of the names of the different archetypes. What you need to understand is that your archetype isn't about what you do, which is the mistake in branding that I had made for about 15 plus years. I thought my brand was about what I did, i.e., teacher, educator. I looked at this for years and assumed, because I hadn't done the actual assessment, that I was supposed to be a sage brand, the sage, right? It's like the wisdom, it's the person who knows, the teacher. I was like, obviously, that's my brand because I'm a teacher. Wrong! Right? This is not about what you do. It's about how you make people feel when you're doing it. So when I did this actual assessment, bearing in mind, I'd spent years thinking I was the sage, the teacher, because I literally teach. Actually, Sarah Cordiner is an exact 50-50 split between the creator and the entertainer. Basically, I'm a cross between Lady Gaga and I don't know what else, I think that David Bowie or something. So what this did for me when I realized that I could be this real creative, that I could make and learn and share what I'm learning as I'm learning it, and I could do that in my really wild, crazy way. Any of you who've seen me on the stage, like I literally dress as a cross between Lady Gaga and a friggin' ostrich because I can, because it's my brand, because I've been given permission to be that version of myself, which is the real, true, natural version of me. And it's really important in my brand because I'm the entertainer, that when I'm teaching, I make people laugh, that I make it fun. And that's why when you see videos of me on stage with people, half the room is literally peeing their pants laughing. In fact, I think I'm going to have to start handing out panty liners on the way in because that's just now I've been given permission to make people laugh on the stage. And this is so different to how I used to be. I thought I was the sage. I have to be this very serious teacher. I'd wear very serious suits and I'd be very serious so that I'd be taken very seriously. And you look back at this branding and that's how you feel. It all feels very serious. Perfectly hair, everything was perfectly done and everything was very perfectly serious because I thought I had to be taken seriously. This gave me permission to be Sarah. And you feel the energy shift in everything. It's amazing. So this for you is absolutely life-changing. When you know this, I can't wait to hear what you all are. I have a free Facebook group called Business Owners Being Legends. Febby, if you could drop the link to that in the live chat, that would be great. I would love you to go into that Facebook group and share what your result is. I'd love to know what everyone's brand archetype is coming out. So once you know this, big change. Now, the next thing I want to do in terms of this messaging, I have a ChatGPT prompt for you. For those of you on the live chat, I am going to copy and paste this into the live chat for you. For those of you watching the replay, you will be able to copy and paste this from your lesson area later on. So those of you who have ChatGPT, the next thing I want you to do is actually get ChatGPT to help you craft this message. So you're going to say to it, using everything that you already know about me and my business, please access all of your knowledge about me and all of the history of our chats, and please create my full brand identity and brand message. Now, this is basically going to give you a printout of what your brand positioning statement is, your slogan or your tagline. It's going to give you your brand pillars. So this is basically what it is that you value, what's really important to you. And that's important when it comes to creating your content, because it's actually going to show you focus on these areas. It's going to tell you what your key differentiators are compared to your competition. And this is important. One of the best things that I ever got taught when in my early days of moving from B2B, which is what I knew really well, to B2C, which is what I didn't know very well back then, was it was actually Jack Delosa from the Entourage who taught me this. He said very strongly to me, make sure, Sarah, that you stand for or against something in your industry. So I was like, oh, like, I don't know about what that is, right? Like at the time, I didn't have any awards that I'd won. I didn't have any amazing stories about financial milestones that I'd reached. I didn't have any kind of reputation. I didn't have any kind of following. So when I was starting out, I was like, what are my differentiators? I'm just the guy with 0 followers on my socials and 0 people on my email list. And absolutely nobody knows who I am because I'm an immigrant from another country and I haven't even got a freaking friend yet, let alone a following, right? So I sat down with Jack Delosa and I was like, what is my differentiator? And he said, you've got to stand for something or against something. And he said, what's something that you absolutely hate about your industry? I want you all to write this down. What do I hate about my industry? What's something that really pees you off about your industry? What is it that makes you mad about your industry? Write that down, because that's something that you stand for or against, anything that's emotionally driven. On the flip side, what do you absolutely love about your industry? What do you think is the most important thing that everyone coming into your space needs to know or do? The number one thing. And how do you think it's important that people should do that or not do that? Because this could be actually your biggest differentiation point. Now, this is called USP in marketing. And any of you who like USPs just go over my head sometimes. I'm just like, it just sounds so 1980s, right? Differentiators basically is why you over that guy? Why should I pick you? What do you give a shit about? What do you care about? The things that you stand for or against in your field is what makes you different and what's going to attract your tribe and the people who are really most like you. So chuck this into ChatGPT, and yeah, this is going to really give you some amazing starting points. And when I say starting point, what I mean is your message right now, and you're just going to go with it. Stop overthinking it. Stop procrastinating about it. This is going to constantly change and evolve forever. Do this freaking prompt every 30 days. It will keep evolving. It should keep evolving. It should constantly change with you as everything grows and changes around you. All right. So please don't overthink it. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to create your IP framework. You're going to create your IP framework. This is your visibility model for what it is that you do. Now, your IP framework is really important because it is literally the very thing that gives you the overall system or steps that somebody would follow to reach success in your particular thing. This becomes the framework for every keynote presentation that you do, for your TED Talks, for your book. It is the framework for your signature course or program. This becomes your method, your unique way, your unique steps for getting the result that it is that you promise to get people in your field. Now, of course, I have a prompt for that, but you got to join the Legends Lab or come to my next boot camp to get it. So yes, of course, if you want to actually try this on your own, you can, of course, fumble around doing that. Inside ChatGPT, you can even get it to create the visual framework for you by asking it to come up with a visual signature IP framework, and then ask it to create a visual image to depict the framework as well. That might be a nice little starting point for you to play with. This is literally what I do for a living. I help people commercialize their knowledge and their expertise. You can book a one-on-one session with me, or of course, come and join the Legends Lab and we go into much more details. But I don't want to get anyone going down that rabbit we're in just now. But hopefully now what we've done there is given you the first set of strategies for crafting your message. I'd love to see in the live chat, that's step one of our 5 steps of today for how to get your personal brand expanded and out there as a go-to authority in your industry. In the live chat, what there has been your favorite piece of information or aha moment in crafting your message or clarifying your message? I'd love to hear that in the live chat. Febs, if you could pop them up on the screen as they come on in. So please do share your favorite thing from the message stage of your brand building blueprint. Love to hear that in the live chat. All right, so next, that was step 1. Step 2, we're now going to start building our visibility. So now we've got a bit of an idea as to what our message is, what our brand is, how we're saying it, who we're saying it to, and the feeling we're leaving people with. Now we want to actually get people to hear that, right? We need people to hear it, to see it. So let's first of all go with the most obvious one, and that is content marketing. This has been by far the biggest way that I have built my brand and built my business behind the scenes. A $15 million valuation on my company, and all of the millions of dollars I've made over the last 20 years have come almost exclusively from content and organic marketing. And this is a really interesting fact that a lot of people are being misled about today. People today are saying, now that AI is here and that ChatGPT is here, people aren't using Google anymore, so does content marketing even matter? The answer to that is it matters more than it's ever mattered, because now AI is referencing and linking where it's sourcing its information from. So if you have created content and you've put content out there to the world, AI is now a free traffic machine. It is now literally sending you leads and traffic directly to your website or your blog posts or the content that you're creating. If people now go to ChatGPT and type in who is the best course creation coach in the world, my name and website literally comes up in the results in ChatGPT. Free traffic for life. Screw praying Mark Zuckerberg money, right? When I can get ChatGPT to send me free traffic 24 hours a day forever, the only way you're going to get it to do that is with content marketing. Absolutely insane. So Haley said, I'm absolutely loving all of this. I've literally just realized exactly who I want to help and how I can start. Oh my gosh, amazing. Mic drop moment. David said, understanding what do I stand for and getting clear about being consistent. Roxy said that the way I show up determines everything. What did my last 10 posts say about me? That really stood out for her. With Jane, it was that your brand is about how you make people feel and not what you do. Irina's saying this is practical, fun, and really useful, being able to video yourself and move through the fear. We've got one from Lauren. By the way, follow this woman. She's incredible. Loving the summary of outcomes being delivered from the AI prompt. Yes, so being able to see exactly what all of your values and everything are, that it's been picking up from what you've been putting in there for so long, which is incredible. This is amazing. I'm glad that you are finding all of this very helpful. So what we want to do now is understand that because AI is now sending us free traffic, the only way that it can do that is if we've created content. So I want you guys to be making sure that at least 70% of your calendar, the way you're spending your time, should be on lead generation, visibility, marketing activities, so that you have consistently people discovering you and coming into your area of influence. So content needs to be a huge part of that time spent, of what you're doing there. And ideally, your face, ideally, your knowledge, the way that you think, the tips that you've learned, the strategies that you've picked up through your life, and the ways that you do stuff needs to be getting out there from your big old sexy face out to the world. Because people love people. People want to hear it from you, how you speak, how you say it, how you do it. Every single one of us are going to have competition. Every single one of us are going to have hundreds of other people either side of us who teach exactly what we teach and say exactly what we say. But it's how we say it. It's how we teach it. It's how we perform individually and uniquely on the stage. It's how we've written the words in that post or on that book that are going to make people pick me or her, me or him, right? It's our personality, our brand, our personal way of making people feel that is going to help people make the buying decision between whether they get information from me or that guy. Meaning, guys, there is no such thing as competition when you've determined and put out there your personal brand. Because some people might look at me, see one of my videos and go, Jesus, crikey, does she even breathe between her words? She speaks too fast, she's way too extra. I don't like her. I'm going to someone else. Cool. My marketing has just worked to filtering out someone that's not going to work well with me. I might remind somebody else of some childhood trauma bitch they had at school, right? I don't know. Maybe they'll go, oh my God, she gets straight to the point. I like her and she's sexy. Right? So it's the personal brand, it's the style, it's the energy that you personally choose to have. Some people want the crazy and the fun. Some people want the calm, the gentle, the loving, the supportive. There's no right or wrong. There's just who are you? And be that person and consistently be that person. And the people who want a person like you is going to find you with content. All right. So it's very important that you have decided what, therefore, do I need to talk about, which is stuff I like, stuff I love, and how can I make sure that I'm sharing that in my unique way? And the answer to that, my dear friends, is video. Ideally. Okay, we'll talk about that in just a second. So we've talked about how important content is here when it comes to becoming an authority, when it comes to being a leader in a particular topic. Our content is less about going for virality, and it's more about going for discoverability and topic domination. So I want all of you to completely forget and let go of this idea of all my videos must get 20,000 views or more. No, this is not what authority content is about. Yes, that is one type of content we want to try and create. We want to create trending videos. We want to create the fun stuff. We want to try and get viral where we can in some places. Of course we do. But when we have authority content, which is another type of marketing, which is what we're focusing on today, this is the stuff that's less likely to go viral, but is exactly what we need to dominate a particular topic niche. That is, if somebody goes to Google or to ChatGPT and types in a question, it's you that's going to be referred because you've dominated those keywords. You've dominated that topic with the content that you've been creating. That is how you get picked over somebody else in your industry. You constantly come up, you constantly be found when that topic is being searched for. Virality is not the goal. Love hearts are not the goal. Literally flooding the algorithms of both AI language models and Google with our topic specific domination content is the goal. So that search results just show you. That's the goal. Does that make you feel a bit better? I hope it does. I by no means have a massive following, yet I've made a pretty successful business. And that's for years because I focused on creating content, silent content on the interweb. Every piece of content is a ring on the web. Every blog post, every podcast, every video on YouTube, every video on TikTok, every post on LinkedIn, every single piece of content you create is another ring on that silent algorithm that AI can scrape and send you traffic from, and that Google can search and send traffic to as well. This is the more focus area we want to be on, understanding that this now is going to be content that's going to work for us for life, be discovered for life. Blog posts I wrote 10 years ago still bring me in thousands of traffic per month, right? So it's very powerful, and it goes a lot longer and a lot further and has a lot more ROI than one single viral post. So let's just get our head around that. Now, I do have a bootcamp that is fully recorded that you can go and watch and consume at any time. It's called the Content Creation Bootcamp. It takes you through exactly how to create a year's worth of content. And this is a whole variety of social media posts, blog posts, and video content in just 2 days. So if you do want to check that out, it's available immediately. workshop.sarahcordiner.com/content creation bootcamp. For those of you on live, I've put the link in the group chat. For those of you who watch the recording later, it will be in your chat area. But I just want to let you know now that with AI, with obviously this being here, it's normal, it's real now, people are going to be more trusting and already are more trusting of video over text. Now, we do need text to do that content webbing behind the scenes for our language models. But in terms of creating this human likability, this human attraction on our socials, ideally we want to be using video. We want to have the talking head. And this is why I always, whenever I run a workshop, have a video recording me on my mobile phone that I can go and repurpose for social content later. It's why I do talking head stuff in between doing background videos of me just behind the scenes. What we want to do here is understand that people are going to be more trusting of real life people speaking. And this means that actually creating more real videos, and not REE reels, real as in real life, REAL, more real life behind the scene videos. Videos that get more views today are actually ones that kind of look like they're live. They're ones that haven't been edited, you're walking around or you're making a cup of tea whilst you're talking through the camera. These ones get more views. And this is a trend that is only going to grow as the perfection of AI and other competitors who are too scared to get on the camera. I know it's scary, who are too scared to get on the camera, who are too scared to come and speak to the lens. You're going to be able to take over them if you're presenting to camera. So the human element is still going to be the deciding factor here. So please make sure that you're doing lots of videos and you're mixing up, sharing snippets of you teaching to give people a real taste that you are who you say you are. You're never going to have to sell ever again if you're just showing people that you are the expert that you say you are. If you're literally helping them in your marketing, you're never going to have to do a sales call. I do not do sales calls for even my high ticket stuff, and yet people just go and buy them. So please understand that this is because your marketing, if it is actually helping people, it's you sharing what you love, what you're passionate about in that marketing. Not only have you made the sale without selling, You've made a fan without having to convince anyone of anything by just sharing what you love. And secondly, it now means that you shift the mindset of marketing from, oh, it's another thing I've got to do, to, yay, I just get to share about what I love. When you realize that marketing is just self-expression, sharing the thing that you're passionate about, that you love, helping people, all of a sudden it moves from a chore to something that's fun, to actually your purpose. You are creating your own stage with a free platform, with a mobile phone and a social media account, both of which barely cost a lot, to help people, to change people's lives. And if you're being the most helpful person in your industry, you're being the most helpful person in the room, you are going to also make money. That's the formula. Show up, share passionately, and help equals loads and loads of lives changed and loads of money in the bank account. If you've done the conversion process, which is next. So make some videos a big part of your process. Here's other ways you can stand out as an authority in your field. Make each video work even harder for you. Transcribe it, baby. Just transcribe the video. My favorite tool for that is Descript.com. In fact, I have an affiliate link for that for anyone who hasn't got it. sarahcordiner.com/Descript. I have no idea what I get either, but that's my affiliate link. Basically, you just upload your videos, your Zoom recordings, your workshops. If, like me, when you're speaking on stages, record yourself, put a tripod and a phone at the back of the room, right? Record it, because then you can take the recordings of all these different things that you're doing and simply stick the video inside Descript, and it will create the transcript for you like that. Grab the transcript. Always make sure you chuck it in your ChatGPT so that it's learning even more about you. It's learning all of your content. But basically with this transcript, you can now go and create a blog post with it. You can create an article on LinkedIn. Ooh, there's 2 more rings on your spider's web. Hey, you could go onto other distribution platforms like Medium, another spider's web. You can actually paste it into ChatGPT and say, can you create an email that I can send out to my list with this? Can you turn this into a bunch of social media posts using this transcript? This is massive. All those spider's webs, all of those things you can do with that one video transcript. Bam. Next, take all of your content, all of your blog posts, all of your video transcripts, pop them all into ChatGPT and ask it to help you create a book outline, and then turn that content, the transcripts of your own content that's come from your own head and out of your own face, in your own way, in your own unique communication brand personality style, and make a book. This is an incredible visibility bumper. If you want to get more visible, become an author. It really is still, to this day, a great way to establish credibility in your space and gain even more credibility. The second you've got author after your name, all you have to do, guys, is press File, Save As, EPUB, and upload it to Amazon. You're published within a day. If you want help with that, join the Legends Lab. I've got a whole course on exactly how to become a published author, and I've had many people come out as #1 bestsellers from that. So do go and check it out. But really great way for you to gain more visibility. Another way to get more visibility is by podcasting, and you can do that by just, again, turning the videos that you've made into audios. Just go in to Descript and press File, Save As, Audio. Upload it to a podcast distribution channel. Boom. You've just got a podcast by simply taking the audio out of the videos that you're making to gain visibility. Podcast, amazing. You can also be a podcast guest. Really easy to do. So I've just realized I wasn't sharing my screen with anyone, was I? So I just share my screen with you for a second. We talked about transcribing your videos. We talked about turning your content into books. And we've talked about turning your videos into audio files so that they can become podcasts. Now, this next bit, you do need to see the screen. Another way to gain more visibility, and this was one that I used in the early days. Remember when I said I came from corporate and had no public following? I wanted to get out in the public market. I had no marketing budget. I had no team of people. So I thought, why not just steal other people's audiences ethically? So what we did is, I say we, it was me to begin with, and then I hired Femi to help, back then I just went to Google and I typed in this very specific prompt, okay? It goes like this. It is your target audience, podcast, and then in square brackets, be a guest. Okay, that's what you type into Google. Your target audience, podcast, and in square brackets, be a guest. What this will do is it will find every single podcast in that niche that actually has a page called Be a Guest, meaning they accept and are looking for people to come and be guests on their show. Now, some of these podcasts have genuinely spent years building up an audience. Some of them have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of downloads a month. So if you could get yourself one of those, you have just acquired that many eyeballs on you by being a guest speaker on that platform to an audience that somebody else has already built. So that's one way to do this. Go in and use that Google formula to go and find podcasts that you can present on. Now let's take this to another level. Let's bring this up to 2025. Who here has played with what's called ChatGPT Operator? Operator is the new big brother of ChatGPT. It is separate, and unfortunately, it comes with a stinking price tag. You do have to have a ChatGPT Pro account to be able to get an Operator account, and it is $200 a month, I'm afraid to say. However, it's basically a full-time employee. Basically, what I did this morning, and here's an example, quite literally of it right now, is I typed into Operator here, find all the podcasts in the topic of entrepreneurship, business, and speaking and course creation that have a Be a Guest page or accept guest speaker applications. Provide the podcast name and the link to the contact page or the email address. And what this did is it literally then goes and searches the internet for you. And here it is. It says you can now access it here. It's now created a Google Sheet with the contacts for me to go and contact. So it does the research on your behalf. Now, the next thing I would do with that is then whether you're going and collecting those manually using the Google search method, or you're getting AI to find those contacts of podcasts that you can present on for you. The next step, obviously, is to upload that to a CRM like Techmatics, upload the CSV file that's been created, pop them all into a workflow, and make sure that workflow is sending out your expression of interest or your pitch to go and be a guest speaker on their show. Include what you want to talk about and a couple of learning outcomes that you'll provide, and set it to send them 6 monthly reminders if they haven't booked you in, so that it just sits there on autopilot, sending out your cold outreach for you, getting you consistently booked on podcasts. So that's another way that you can dramatically grow your visibility. Those podcasts are going to be out there forever. They are all more rings on the spider's web. The next one is to then make sure that you're getting yourself along to networking events, conferences, and speaking. If you want to grow your visibility, if you want to be seen as an authority in your field, there is no bigger, more impactful and faster way of doing that than being on a stage. The second your butt is on a stage, you are instantaneously pedestaled as an expert in that thing. It's a psychological consequence of being on the stage. You are already positioned to all of the people in that space as an authority in the thing that you are talking about. Now, there's lots of controversy in the industry as speakers around whether you should be doing this for free or getting paid. Now, I personally see speaking for free as marketing, and I will pick very carefully which kinds of events, what kinds of numbers, and what kind of partnership arrangements there are. If I speak for free, I have to know that actually will turn into paid business for me immediately, if not very shortly afterwards. So you do need to be considering your whole business model. But I know for me that giving up 1 hour of my time to be in front of a room, I know I'm a great speaker. I can very confidently say that. It's not arrogance. It's 20 years of practice. I know that when I get on a stage, I can convince at least 20% of a room to come and buy something from me. I know that because I've done it time and repeatedly again. So I know for me that giving up 1 hour, literally just 60 minutes of my time to do something that I love, if you can't tell, I quite enjoy speaking, to get what would be way more return on investment than spending money on ads. For me, it actually is a very profitable marketing exercise. So just keep that in mind, which way you want to do it. Now, in these speaking gigs, you need to understand there needs to be a conversion. Yes, so remember, this is one of our steps in this whole becoming an expert authority model. We have to make sure the visibility is turning to conversions. So in every presentation I do, whether it's in person or online, I go to my Techmatics account. I go to the QR code creator inside Techmatics. Yes, you can create your QR codes inside Techmatics. And I make sure that QR code that goes up on my big screen will take them to getting the slides for free or getting some special free bonuses from me. That for me is one of my regulatory requirements of speaking for free, is they better let me collect email addresses from the room. So what happens when people scan that QR code? They become a contact in my system. They get added to my nurture sequence, which converts them into sales. So very smart way to grow your visibility. Now, the other thing you may not know about Techmatics is you have a free mobile app, by the way, which you can scan business cards from. So when you download your free mobile app with Techmatics, when you're at these events, collect as many business cards as you can, go home, have your cup of tea, scan them all. It adds them as contacts to your system. You can tag them and then auto add them to workflows to sell to them as well. Boom! Woo! Okay, that was our visibility section. So we've now gone through 2 steps of our 5 steps in this whole entire become an authority in your field. We have gone through the message, the visibility, just some of the steps. Obviously, they are not the only ways to get visible. They're just some really quick and easy ones that you can begin with. Now, conversion is going to be next. I would love to know in the live chat, those of you here live, which of those things in the visibility section is going to be the one that you start? What's your first one you're going to implement? Please, could you share in the live chat? Ooh, my camera's just killed itself. Let me know in the live chat which one you're going to go for. So just to give you a really quick summary, we're going to be doing content marketing. Is it going to be doing more videos? Is it going to be doing blogging? Is it going to be creating some books, podcasts, or speaking? Which of those is going to be what you're going to work on to gain more visibility? So Alex Finch is doing a truckload of video. Love it, girlfriend. What else? We've got more podcasts. Loves it. Roxy wants to write her book. So that's going to be cool. Jump in the Legends Lab. More video from Vida. Love that. We've got Squirrel is going to be doing content, going to be creating more content on becoming a wedding bartender. Absolutely love it. Our next section, if we want to become an authority in our field, if we want to build a profitable business around our knowledge, around our expertise, we must have conversion steps to make this become a business. Just putting out the best content in the world is going to do nothing other than potentially get more followers. We need to get more followers and build the bottom line. All right. So this is where conversion comes in. Conversion means getting people's email addresses or credit card details. Please do not think that chasing income makes you a bad person. Money is the fuel to your business. And if your business isn't fueled, your car stops, you can't help anybody. Right? None of your friends, and this might be a fear that some of you have, right? People are going to start saying, oh, you're only out here to scam people. Oh, you're only out here to sell your course and make money. How many of you have heard that yet? You are going to hear that, right? My only response to that is, would you go to work for free? Would you happily go to work every single day and say to your boss, don't worry about payday. I'm just here for the lols. Of course they wouldn't. Oh, this is your job, right? Unfortunately, I can't pay my mortgage by flashing my well-endowed chest. Unfortunately, I would if I could. That just wouldn't work. This is really important that we understand that this is a business. You must have conversion and sales as part of the entire operation. If you don't, you go bust and people don't get helped. And if we don't have business owners in the world, by the way, in Australia alone, small businesses contribute to something ridiculous, like 80% of the GDP. You're making a difference. You must have conversion happening in your authority building steps. So the first way you can do this, the easiest number one thing you must create, if you don't have one yet, this is the thing I want you to do. Okay? You must have some kind of lead magnet, something that you give away for free in exchange for an email address. You must be giving away something, right, to convince people to give you their email. If you want to check mine out, you can go to sarahcordiner.com/free-stuff. You can just go to sarahcordiner.com, click on the free stuff page. I've actually created a whole page on my website that contains all of my free things, right? It's got everything on there, from a quiz that teaches you what to do next in your business through to every free workshop that I've run in the last sort of 6 months, so that people can go and find what it is that they're most interested in and go and get that recording, go and get that training, go and get that resource, whatever it is that they want. This is how you get people's email addresses, giving away something for free. Now, in Techmatics, you do this using forms. There's simply an area called forms, and it simply says register to get the XYZ thingy here. You have first name, email address. That's it. Having a form, also known as an opt-in form in the industry, is how you collect these emails. And behind the scenes, you then have what's called a workflow, which is where they get sent the email that gives them the access to the thingy that you've given away and follows up with them to upsell something afterwards. So make sure you've got a lead magnet. If you don't, please put this on your to-do list as a matter of urgency. If you don't have one of these, you cannot convert. You cannot get people into your system. So taking it a next step up to increase your conversions of both collecting email addresses and conversions from a lead into a customer, you're going to want to start playing with funnels. Now, I have a completely free workshop called Funnels on Fire, which teaches you how to make funnels. If you're using Techmatics, I've already built them for you. You've already got your funnels made, your workflows made, everything's made. I've already made them. Go to Funnels on Fire, my free workshop. Febby will pop the link to that in the live chat. If you're here watching the recording of this, Febby will pop that in the replay area. This shows you how you can create a free opt-in page for something that instantly takes them then to an upsell page, that instantly takes them to another upsell page, that takes them to some kind of confirmation page. Trust me, you can be as tech savvy as a potato and nail this today. This is how you make money immediately from ads, so that your ads are paying themselves. This is instantly how you go from just being out there to being out there and making money. You must have proper funnels in place today if you want to compete at all. And trust me, once you've got these in place, you are going to absolutely soar ahead of your competition in terms of how professional and credible you look in your space. It's always about that brand personality then mixed with the systems that give the customer experience a 10 out of 10, which is what makes your customers come back, keep coming back, and telling their friends to come and join them too. So Funnels on Fire, another free training of mine for you to go and check out to help you do that. Now, the next way you get conversions is to create what's called a link in bio page. This is called a link page, also known as Linktree. However, if you're using Techmatics, you do not need another piece of software. We have Linktree templates for you already inside your system in the funnels area. So if you go into funnels, type in link, and you will find a bunch of Linktree templates that have been created. Basically, all a link page is a page on the internet. So mine is sarahcordiner.com/links if you want to go and check mine out. And all this does is simply curate and collaborate together all of your most important links that you want people to find. All of your social media channels, your free opt-in stuff, anything that you have available for sale, your link to your paid calendars or your free calendars so people can book a call with you. Basically, this link page, this link is the link that you should be putting in all of your social media bios. It never ceases to blow my mind how many people haven't got any way for me to go and buy stuff from them, follow them, connect with them, or email or message them from social media. If you're doing all this stuff to be seen and get visible, and I can't even figure out how to connect with you or buy from you, it's all pointless. I see people putting themselves out there and I go to their profile and there's no website. It's absolutely crazy how many people are losing business because they simply haven't made a link in bio. Go to your Techmatics account, go to funnels, type in link, and publish your Linktree today. And make sure that link is in all of your bios, your LinkedIn bio, every social media bio, the footer of your email signatures, please. Put it all over the place. Then take it another step further. Your business cards, put a QR code that goes to your link page. Whenever I'm at events, all I do is literally say to people, scan me. And it takes them to my link page. They can follow me on everywhere, opt straight into my thing, and bam, you've got that contact as well. If you've got a proper customer relationship management system like Techmatics, that link page, as soon as they've opted into anything or clicked on anything, will make them a contact automatically in your system. It will bring in all of your communication with them from your Facebook DMs, Instagram DMs, all these other different places that you have communication happening. It all shows on their customer record, and it just makes sure that contact now goes into a whole conversion sales process through all of your workflows. And this all happens automatically, by the way. So using your link pages to then actually put people through this nurturing and sales system, which happens by itself, is critical for your conversion process. Now, more conversions. Conversions mean making sales. What things can you sell to make more money? Right? Knowledge is power. It's also money. People want to know what you know. They want to know how you do it. What can you sell that's up here? What questions are people asking about your topic? Make courses on that. If you don't know what questions people are asking on your topic, here's what you're going to do. Go to ChatGPT and type in, based on everything you know about me, please give me the 50 most common questions that people might ask me. It's going to tell you exactly what the questions are. You can also go to answerthepublic.com, which will tell you exactly what questions people currently are typing into search engines. All you have to do is sell the answers to those questions. Create a webinar around one of them. Create a webinar around 10 of them. The 10x things you must know, 15 ways to, where you're going to go and answer the questions or give them the tips, right? This is how you can now turn what you know into courses, memberships, coaching programs, workshops, presentations, books, whatever, to make money from your knowledge generation activity. Make sure that you are offering, when you're doing this commercialization, products, services, and information that is sold at every commercial level, i.e., if I was going to answer a question on how to apply lipstick, I would need to make sure that I had a free answer to that question, that I had a cheap answer to that question, a middle-priced answer to that question, and then my full-blown expensive, come and get all your makeup done with me and become a makeup pro answer to that question. This is how you make sure that you can access every single sector of the market, from your low ticket, high volume section to your high ticket volume section. If you have answered that question in a package at each of those levels, you are going to maximize the profit and the income that your business in your business to make more money from your personal brand, to become the authority in your field. That is the absolute no-brainer choice for people to go to in your field, is to make your customer experience freaking flawless. And one of the best ways that you can do that is to turn on AI agents or AI assistants in your business. Now, at Techmatics, you get AI conversation bots that literally reply to all of your incoming inquiries on SMS, Instagram, Facebook, Google Business, live chat, absolutely all of those. Your bot has real life conversations with people messaging. It also learns your whole business by simply scanning your website. You can give it any Q&A that you want. This thing becomes smarter over time. It's built on OpenAI. It learns more and more about your business as time goes on. It will sell for you. It will answer any question about your products and services. It will even book appointments for you into your calendar. This is crazy how this works. This is going to take away 70 to 80% of your admin. It's going to show immediate responses to your people. It's going to answer all their questions. There's going to be no waiting, and you're going to be making conversions while you sleep, essentially. Now, also in Techmatics, we have the phone agents, the AI phone receptionists. They have real life conversations with people who phone you. They answer your phone for you. They can chat with the customer. They answer any questions the customer has. They can send them to certain web pages to go and book into something or buy something. They can take messages, auto add them as contacts into the system. It is insane. Why wouldn't you increase your conversions by having 24-hour AI assistants for $149 a month software? Absolutely crazy. Turn on your AI assistants if you want your conversions to increase. 24 hours a day, this is going to be converting customers for you. So the next thing you want to do and have in your conversion area, in your conversion section, taking that personal brand into really, truly a profitable business, is to make sure that you have what's called a welcome email sequence working inside your CRM. This welcome email sequence's job is to start being even more helpful to your audience. It's basically a sequence of pre-written emails that shares a helpful tip and some kind of upsell at the bottom of that email as a PS. So really helpful tip. And then PS first name, are you still thinking about getting X result? If so, here are X ways that I can help you do that. You can come and join this free thing. You can book a call with me. You can join my XYZ coaching program. You can join my XYZ membership, whatever it might be. You're going to give people the links to buy those things in the footer of these helpful emails. This will get you sales without you doing anything. You set this up once, and every single person who joins your contact list is going to go through this sales sequence. This thing has been making me money for about 15 years without doing a thing. It turned on once. It's been going for years and years. Actually, we need to update mine. It still makes money though, even though it's years and years old. Incredible. All right, how many more in the conversion section? We got 2 more. Next thing you want to do inside your conversion is you want to turn on a 90-day repeating email called the sales activation email. Basically, inside your system, if you're using Techmatics, you do this in other platforms as well, but in Techmatics, we've made a template for you. Literally type in activation email, 90 days or 90-day activation email. It's a 1-line email that simply says, hi, contact first name. Are you still thinking about result that you get for people? And it just goes around in a cycle every 90 days, waits for 90 days and it sends again, waits for 90 days and it sends again. This sales activation email converts into sales conversations. You set it up once, it's going to convert forever. And then finally, another tip I want to give you for conversions that you might want to implement is to turn on an abandoned cart checkout sequence for everything that you sell. Everything that you sell. Go and create an abandoned cart checkout sequence. And of course, if you're using Techmatics, I've already made that for you. Simply go into workflows, type in abandon, and you will find the template that I've pumped into your account for you. But basically, this is actually going to recover up to 80% of your lost sales, people that were going to go to buy something, but then didn't. This follows up with them. And actual research shows that, more than 80% of people abandon the cart. So if you are having this catch net in place, you could be saving and recovering hopefully all of those lost sales. So there we go. Now we are moving and getting very close to the end of our session. So we're coming up to the finish line. Scalability is our next step. I would love to know, for those of you on the live chat, there was a lot of conversion steps there, a lot of things you can do to take your personal brand from being seen to making money. Which one is going to be the number one that you're going to implement? So was it creating a lead magnet? Was it creating a funnel? Was it creating a link page, setting up a CRM? Was it starting to sell your knowledge into courses, coaching programs, or memberships? FYI, I do have a free training on that as well. Go and check out my free stuff page. Was it turning on your AI bots? Is it creating a welcome nurture sequence that upsells? Is it sending out your sales activation email or creating your abandoned cart checkout? I'd love to hear from you. Which of those is your number one thing that you're first going to implement from the conversion tips today? So we've got Vida who says she's going to turn on her AI bot. Love it. That's very exciting. Vida, there also is a free training on that too. If you go to my free stuff page, I've got a whole workshop on using AI employees to help you convert and build your business. Haley is going to start building her email list with a lead magnet. Excellent. What else have we got? If you're in the live room here, please let me know. Amazing. All right. We've got more people just putting in their chats there. Let's move on. The next step for building your brand, turning it into a commercial business, is to make your business scalable. More scale, more leads. This means constantly pouring people, leads, eyeballs into the top of your business so that some of those hopefully convert into sales. Now, of course, we can't convert everybody, but we're going to do our best too. So in terms of scaling, one thing I do recommend you do is create a clone of yourself as a GPT. This is called a custom GPT that you've specifically trained with all of your knowledge and expertise. This cloning yourself enables you to do more at a bigger scale, faster, without necessarily working harder. So this is what the definition of scalability means, right? Scale doesn't mean necessarily doing more, being bigger, doing it at a bigger level. We actually mean reaching more people and making more profit without necessarily increasing our input or our overheads. That's what the definition of true scale actually is. And that means, therefore, really, that one of the only ways that we can massively scale is using digitization. All right. So back in the day when I was working with corporates, I could only go and teach so many people at a time. I'm one human being. I could only be in one room at a time. And I could only teach the number of bums that could fit on the number of seats that were in that room. For me, my impact, my scale was limited by physical presence and physical space, and my physical body's ability to travel to certain geographical locations. When we're talking about scale, the second I took that same training, those same workshops, and I made them into courses and memberships, I was able to scale to thousands and then tens of thousands and now hundreds of thousands without having to be anywhere else. Right? I'm sat here talking to you with the fluffy socks on. Woohoo! This is real scale. This is what we mean by scale. I can now potentially have millions of people log into my courses whilst I'm still sat here talking to you. No more staff needed, no more overheads needed, just a Techmatics account and an internet connection. That's scale. That's what we mean. So cloning yourself on ChatGPT, I have a free training on that. Go to sarahcordiner.com, click on the free resources tab, and you will find my AI workshop that will take you through how to make your own clone. But once you've done, that's going to allow you to create loads more content that over time is going to get better at using your exact words in your exact brand voice. Now, remember at the beginning of this workshop, I gave you guys a prompt to create your core brand message. If you've got a custom GPT already, listen up. Please go and feed your custom ChatGPT with that brand message that you've created today, okay? Because that's going to really help inform the back end of your bot there as well. So here we are today talking about AI models and how AI can help you build your business. This is actually the exact example that I threw in the other day saying, list the top course creation experts and coaches in the world. Look who came out on top, Sarah Cordiner. Okay, so this is where by using and feeding AI with the content that you're creating, you are again helping your business scale, because the more content you create, as I've said, the more traffic that AI can send you and the algorithms can send you. Now, the next trick I want to share with you under the scalability is using automation to generate more leads for you. If you are restricted by your own time being on social media, responding to every comment, going in and manually DMing everybody, manually going back and asking them, how did you get on, manually answering every question they ask in the DMs, you are capping your income. You're capping your reach. One person can only do so much. So we have inside Techmatics a number of actual automations that will do all of this manual lead generation work for you on autopilot. There is a workflow that's been created in there, which is called a Facebook comment workflow or an Instagram comment workflow. And what this will do is if you create a post that says something like, comment bananas below and I'll send you my free banana smoother guide, right? This whole entire system, this automation, will then comment on that person's comment, send them the link to the thing that's going to take them to an opt-in page to get their email address. And if they DM you, the bot will take over and continue the sales conversation. It will even like their comment for you. What? And we built it for you inside the system. So if you want to generate leads on autopilot and have complete scale, like this will work if you've got thousands and thousands of comments happening. This is going to do all the replying, all the comment liking, and all the DMing for you. Bam. If that isn't scale, I don't know what is. So that's exciting and something that you can implement right away. The other thing that you can do to scale more is using social media schedulers to schedule and auto post all of your content for you. If you're using AI to take your video transcripts and create social media posts for you in your words, if you're using AI to create videos, if you're doing those talking head videos that I recommend you do to create more authority in your space, using a social media scheduler like we've got in Techmatics is a great way for you to make sure that all that content is being auto-distributed to every channel possible, so that you're being seen and visible in as many of those places possible. Don't forget number one rule, don't forget the conversion step. You need to be seen. It needs to also convert. Always have a call to action in every single one of your posts to either get your free thingy, so you get the email address, or buy one of your thingies, so you're making money. Conversion. Boom. They're just a couple of tips in the conversion steps. I'd love to know what out of those are going to be, in scalability, what out of those are going to be your scalability steps? So they're obviously not the only ways that you scale, but they are just a couple of ways that you can start scaling today. So you're going to create your custom GPT clone of yourself. Are you going to get AI to learn more about you through the content that you're creating? Are you going to implement a automated lead generation workflow that's going to get leads and start sales conversations for you? Are you going to start auto scheduling and auto posting your social media content? Which of those will you be working with? So just going back to the last one, Vida's going to turn on her AI bot. What have we got here? Nicole's going to create her link page. Roxy's going to create her free stuff page. So she's got loads of lead magnets coming in. Roxy's also going to create keyword posts so that she can be found by AI. Alex is going to automate her lead generation. Love it. Loads of exciting things happening on here. All right, final step, guys. Final step. Let's just go back to the beginning. Some of you I know have just dropped in. We're going through building your brand, getting seen, and using that to create a profitable business. So we have first of all talked about what our formula is for our message that we're going out to the market with. We've talked about some of the things you can do to gain more visibility, do marketing, get seen. Then we've given you a couple of steps to convert those eyeballs into leads or customers. Then we've given you a few steps on how to scale your reach and your visibility, how to do more, get seen more, get more conversions without necessarily having to do more work. So final step now for building your brand and gaining more visibility is to now help our business grow in a way that's actually sustainable. Because let's face it, we are only one person. Even with a team, we can get ourselves into a situation where we start turning all this marketing on, and you've listened to Sarah Cordiner's Build Your Brand stuff in her free workshop, and now you got leads pouring in and sales pouring in. And if you haven't thought about sustainability, you're going to find yourself in a position where you're operating in a way that you can't sustain for a long time. You don't want to be choosing marketing methods that are going to burn you out. You don't want to be choosing methods for building your brand that are going to burn you out, make you tired. You don't want to be building this in a way whereby there's so much manual labor involved that you cannot fulfill customer orders. So we're going to think a little bit about sustainability. Now, I'm not going to go into some of the more strategic and process side of this. I do have a whole workshop called Busy to Boss, which helps you with systems, which means sustainability, right? That's a whole other program available to my Legends Lab members. But I'm just going to give you some more simple, sustainable things here. We've talked about using content marketing, particularly blogging, to get found by AI. That's going to be one of your sustainable lead generation tools, because these blogs that are being put out there on Google, on search engines that can now be scraped by AI, are what's going to long-term put those posts up and link and refer leads to you over time. Blogs are vintage, guys. The older they get, the more data they have, actually, the more delicious they become to Google. So this is why we put it in the sustainability section, not in the visibility section, because blogs that are older start bringing you more and more quality traffic over time based on the data that it collects on people that click it, read it, and stay on each post. So it's a really good long-term strategy for continuously bringing you in leads. Now, another one on the same line is not just blogging on your own platforms, but blogging on other people's platforms. There are loads and loads of bloggers out there that, again, have done all the work, building up a big audience, getting all these people and these readers and these subscribers in their list. They're looking for more content all the time. So you can actually take all of these blogs that you've been writing for yourself and contribute them to other people's platforms where they will link back to you and your site. And this is really important for two reasons. Number one, you've added more rings to your spider's web. So you've got more visibility, you're more discoverable. Secondly, obviously they've distributed you out to all of their lists, so you've got more visibility. But third, you now have what's called backlinks going back to your website. So backlinks are really powerful and important because they link back to your website, which means Google now thinks you're very important and your website ranking goes up. This is how you get onto page one of the results. The more backlinks you have, i.e. people linking back to your website, the better your reputation becomes on Google. So that is why both strategically and technically, guest blogging is a really important step for ongoing long-term sustainability of traffic and search results and increasing your ranking on Google and search engines and now AI language models. The other thing you want to do for sustainability is making sure that you're doing all of this work to bring in leads into your database, into your mailing list. Please do not let those leads go cold and untouched. The beginning of this session, I told you it takes about 22 touch points for people to begin to engage with you. Let's add to that. It takes about 18 months now for the average person to then buy from you. That's crazy long. So if you've just sent one or two emails or your welcome sequences at the end of the communication, you've potentially lost your sales. What you need to do to create sustained sales in this sustainability section is to make sure you're continuously being in touch with those people. And in fact, did you know when there were email changes that came into effect in February 2024, if an email hasn't been contacted within 90 days, they're actually now deemed a non-contact and your email can bounce if it sends through to them without them having, if they hadn't re-opted in. So it's so important that you keep emailing people all the time. Otherwise, that is marked as a cold contact and you can lose or damage your sending domain. So it's so important to stay in touch. Let them clean themselves. Let them unsubscribe. If they're not interested, not communicating with them at all isn't going to help. So please send out regular emails. Now, one of the ways that I recommend sending regular emails, because now you're creating more content, is to turn on what's called the automated newsletter. Inside Techmatics, you have this automated newsletter sending system. It's called RSS-based email sending. And this basically will pull in all of your recently created blog posts or YouTube videos and automatically send those out to your list at a frequency that you determine. You set this up once and it's done forever. So for instance, you could link in your YouTube channel or your blog feed, and the system, I can set it to send out every 30 days. So mine actually does go out every 30 days. And it just is called the monthly roundup from Sarah. And it just says, hi, first name, here are the last blog posts that I've published in the last 30 days, just in case you missed any, hope you find them helpful. And then the system automatically pre-fills everything I published in that 30 days with a clickable link directly to the post, getting you more traffic to your site, i.e. better Google ranking. Of course, each of those blog posts have various upsells on there, selling and promoting my products and services in between all of the helpful stuff. And of course, that is how you're going to get more clicks, more views, and more sales. Long-term sustainability. Set this up once, it's done forever. Sustainable sales always coming through. Woohoo! Next thing you can do in sustainability is make sure you are doing something that is going to increase your online reputation. Your reviews on Google are important. Now, it is a little bit challenging for those of you running exclusively online businesses. Google is very difficult to get online businesses approved. However, for those of you that can, try to get either a Google business profile. If you can't, use Facebook business reviews, because this is a really smart way for you to stand out over your competition. Now, I don't know about you, but 90% of people, according to data, will choose a provider, a shop, a store, a coach, whatever, over somebody else based on the reviews that they have. The person or the store or the provider that has the most reviews usually gets the business. And I do it all the time. So it is important. It does make a decision to your ongoing sales. This is a long-term thing because it takes a long time to build up. But once you start getting reviews and you focus on building these reviews, it is going to long-term get you more clients. Amazing. Now, another way to get more customers long-term, to create this sustainable sales and the sustainability as a leader in your field, is to create your own affiliate program. This means that you are getting your customers, your market, to send clients to you, and you're paying them a referral fee. And you've guessed it, if you're using Techmatics, this is included in the Pro plan. So you can create affiliate programs and create your own army of affiliates underneath you. Now, I don't know about you, but if somebody goes to a Facebook group and says, who is the best expert in this? And someone's name comes up over and over and over again, I'm pretty interested in who that person is. I'm checking them out for sure. And getting people on board as affiliates is one way that you can dramatically increase the likelihood of this whole army of people promoting you in exchange for the affiliate commission. Another way to scale, I mentioned at the beginning of sustainability section, is to look after your business backend. If you want sustainability in your growth, you need to have systems. You need to have SOPs, standard operating procedures, and you need to start seeing every single task in your business as a system that you have to filter through the eliminate, automate, delegate, or keep doing process. This is my little process that I've been using for years. Everything on my to-do list, I first ask myself, do I even need to do this? If not, get rid of it. Second thing I ask myself is, can I automate this? Can I get tech to do this job for me? Can I get tech to do some of this job for me? If not, can I delegate it? Can I create some instructions, a training video, and give it to somebody else to do? If not, I keep doing it myself. And really, guys, the only thing you should be doing yourself is anything that involves your head. If it involves you speaking, teaching, doing a consult, standing on a stage, or making a talking head video, you need to be doing it. Everything else, really, you can train someone else. Please don't underestimate other people's intelligence. We have a tendency to grandiose ourselves in business and think that we're the only one who can do this. Wrong. Teach better. Okay, teach better. Everyone's capable of learning it just like you did. You did not fall out of the womb with the knowledge and the skills that you have today. You learned it. Somebody else can learn it too. You're not that special that you're the only one in the world who can learn that thing. Okay, next, final tip for sustainability is to access grants and funding. Grants and funding is an amazing way, and there is millions of dollars available a day for you to access to help you grow your business. We have, by the way, since 2022, Techmatics, we have gained over $700,000 in approved funding to help us grow our business, which is insane, right? Government money, funding given either in tax rebates, tax incentives, or actual cashola in the bank account to help us grow. It is there for anyone to use and take. One of the ways that I first started doing this before I had an amazing funding person to help me was I just used to simply type in to Google grants, business grants in my city, business grants in my state, business grants in my country. And then I typed in industry ones. So for instance, tech, I'm in tech and SaaS. So SaaS industry grants, tech grants, right? So these are all different search terms that you can use. Find what grants are available. I tend to only pick government or council grants. Anything that's private grant, I'm a bit concerned about. I don't know, sometimes I'm just a bit overcautious of these things. Usually when it's a government grant or a state grant, they actually will have a consultant within that particular state department who will actually help and guide you through the application. So you don't have to do it all by yourself. And of course, you can use your ChatGPT to help you fill in the grant application as well. But if you want a grown-up to help you, I do have an incredible lady who does everything for us. If you want her contact details, I can introduce you. Just send me an email, sarah@cordiner.com, and I will connect you with her, and she's amazing. All right, that brings us to the end of our presentation. So if any of you do want to check out Techmatics to grow your business, it's an all-in-one business platform. It's Australia's leading all-in-one business platform, and it has lots and lots of done-for-you templates, free training every single day. Alternatively, if you really want to learn how to build your brand, I am running the Legends Lab Live Bootcamp in July in the Gold Coast, which you can attend in person or online. And the whole purpose of this 2 days is to teach you how to take this stuff, what we've just done in 2 hours today, you're going to learn how to do in 2 days. Can you imagine what you'll get in 2 days? This was just 2 hours, a little taster. This was my little freebie lick at the deli counter, right? Just to see if you like this kind of stuff. If you like today, if you got anything helpful out of today, you are going to love spending 2 days with me because we're going to actually do it. We're going to actually make your automations. I'm going to pre-make workflows for you. I'm going to pre-make automated outreach campaigns for you. You're going to get it pumped into your accounts, and you're going to actually spend the time in the room with me doing stuff. and getting this activated and published and finished and done with my help and my team's help who'll be there helping you. Now, online as well, we always have our team of experts online who actually also can help people. We have breakout rooms where you can get tech help too. So don't think that if you're online, you're disadvantaged. However, of course, it's better to be in the room. Come to the Gold Coast, spend 2 days with me. I'm an inappropriate hugger. All right, you're going to get hugs. Sorry, not sorry. And it will be fun, I promise you. So there are tickets available for that. sarahcordiner.com/legends live. There are only 50 places available in the room because the room's only so big and I like to be able to go around and help everybody. So we do actually keep it captive in the room. So if you book your tickets coming up in just 60 days from today, if you're watching the recording, there's going to be even less time than that available. If you don't want to do a 2-day bootcamp and you want my help forever, come and join the Legends Lab. sarahcordiner.com/legends. You get training like this all the time, all the way through the month. The end. Do I have any questions? Would anyone like to ask anything? Before you go, please, can I ask, what was your favorite thing about today's workshop? What was your favorite thing about attending? What was your biggest aha moment or takeaway? We've covered a lot, the 5 whole steps of becoming an authority in your field and turning that into a commercialized business. This was just my free workshop, by the way. Right? Can you imagine what happens behind the doors with my paid stuff? If you liked it, please come in and join one of those. I'd love to hear in the live chat, what was your best takeaway? What did you get most out of today's session? Questions from Febby. So Febby has put a question from the group in here. Someone has asked, Sarah, can you turn your podcast into a book? Yes, you can. So the best way you can turn your podcast into a book is to go back to your podcast, take the transcript of that podcast, put it into your GPT, and then when you've got all of the podcast transcripts into your GPT, then simply ask it to craft a book outline for you. That is a very easy way to begin that process. Number 2, another question I have, is the custom GPT part of the free or the paid version? If you're creating custom GPTs, I believe at the moment you need to have the basic paid plan in ChatGPT, which I think is about $15 a month. So Haley said, I feel like I've got a super clear path. Oh, let me just change my screen here. I feel like I have a super clear path for my next steps. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Haley. I'm glad that has helped you. Does anyone else have any other questions for me they want to ask today? And again, please let me know what you liked about today. It's very hard to not see the feedback that's happening when I don't have anyone's faces on the screen. So I would really love to know if you found this helpful today. Please let me know so I know if I'm on the right track and if this was a useful 2 hours of my time, plus all the preparation. Any other questions on the live chat? Don't be shy. So Roxy said, I've loved listening to all of the different automation strategies and how they help pull everything together. I often get stuck making my own online identity based off of my business branding rather than having my own personality. That's it. And you know, actually, guys, this is a really important part that Roxy's identified. Your business has a different brand archetype to your personal brand. Let me say that again. Your business can have a different brand archetype to your personal brand. So let me give you an actual personal example to just clarify this. Techmatics, we did the personal brand archetype on Techmatics. And you'll see here, they've got 2 very different brands. Techmatics came out as the hero brand. The hero brand is, we've got your back, you've got this, you can go out there and be the star of the show, and we're just like your people behind you, your whole army behind you, right? That's the kind of hero brand. Now, I am the owner of Techmatics, but I have a different personal brand to the company's archetype. So I personally am the entertainer and the creator. So when I'm talking about Techmatics, I'm doing it in the very entertainer, fun, creative way, even though the brand under here, when I post stuff under this brand, it's going to be hero brand. I know that's a little bit much to get our heads around to begin with, but your business might have a different brand to your personal brand if you've got a business as well. But anyway, you get the point. Any other questions or comments from what you've taken from today? Any more for any more? You're a quiet bunch today. Are you just like, whoa, Sarah, I've just listened for 2 hours. I'm done now. I need 10 coffees and a shot of vodka. Amazing. All right. We seem to have slowed down on the chats and comments there. Thank you all so much for coming today. I really hope that you have found this helpful. I hope that you've got some strategies to take away. I will send you a message after this, kindly asking for a Google review. This was a completely free training, and I do hope that you have found this extremely useful. So it would mean a huge amount to me if you would leave a Google review in the link that will come back to you, just saying that I'm totally amazing. And if you indeed do want to take this to the next level and you've enjoyed this little cheese taster and you would like to have the whole platter, come along to Legends Lab Live Bootcamp in July, or indeed just come and join the Legends Lab right now, and you'll get access to all of our monthly challenges, all of our monthly group calls, all of our monthly Q&A sessions where you can ask me anything, the secret Facebook group, over 100 on-demand mini trainings, and so much more. Look forward to seeing you all in our next training. Thank you for coming. Love you lots. Bye for now. Thank you. Bye, everyone.